Today we will be discussing the Progressive Era, which was collectively known as the period of widespread political, social, and economic reform that occurred around the 1890s to early 1900s. These reforms started out at a local and state level by the hands of the masses. This includes journalists and women that are particularly in the middle to upper class. However, as time went on, the progressive cause grew nationally. Most wanted to expose and eradicate the corruptions of governments, especially as a response to the Gilded Age, where political machines, through their power and money, gained significant control on urban politics. And speaking of exposing corruption as it taps into social reform, many progressive reformers use the concept of muckraking to graphically and emotionally raise public awareness, particularly on such like urban poverty, child labors, or unsafe working conditions. Some of the well-known muckrakers were Upton Sinclair, who released grotesque descriptions of the current status of meat factories, and Ida Tarbell, who exposed the corrupt, monopolizing business practices of Standard Oil. Alarming many, some of these issues were taken into the national level, leading to legislations like the Food and Drug Acts and Antitrust Acts, strengthening protection for workers and consumers. Aside from muckrakers, women too also had a significant role. They worked to abolish slavery, decrease alcoholic consumption, and ensure public health. There was also a push for women's suffrage, leading to the eventual ratification of the 19th Amendment, giving the women the right to vote. The Progressive Era was also a time of strong Americanization, and while it helped progress white society, the African Americans and immigrant minorities were left behind. From reasons ranging from religion to pseudo-scientific reasoning, to even straight-up racism, immigration restrictions were eventually cast during the 1920s, setting the quotas to only 2% of each nationality. As for the African Americans, due to the recent Supreme Court ruling Plessy v. Ferguson, the South were able to get away with Jim Crow laws, where segregation flourished. Amidst this anguish, two main leaders, Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois, arose to help their civil cause. While Washington believed that it was in their economic independence and self-redemption through education that will earn the respect of the white man, Du Bois wanted to be granted immediate, unconditional rights and tended to sway towards a separatist national tendency. Despite their differences, their ideologies will pave way to the modern civil rights movement in the U.S. Moving on to politics, reformers had also sought to give people more direct say in government. This is demonstrated by progressive politician Robert Lafayette, who introduced the policies of initiative, referendum, and recall. All three worked together to give voters the power to propose and repeal legislation, or to kick people out of office at a state level. This concept of democracy was also shown through at a national level, where the 17th Amendment was ratified, allowing the direct election of senators by the hands of the people. Economically, the national government also played a part on stabilizing the nation. Aside from breaking trusts, they set up the Federal Reserve, a decentralized central banking system that issues the dollar currency we use today. They had also ratified the 16th Amendment, by which allowed the Congress to collect gradual income taxes. Unfortunately, the Federal Reserve had also played a role in inflating the money supplies of the 1920s, inducing some bad investments with loose credits and easy money. Not to mention, the whole decentralized nature was often ineffective, with the board lacking the authority to act on its own. So as these credits circulated through these decentralized, unregulated banks, when the public rushed to withdraw their money by the end of the century, the bank had nothing to give back. And we all know how that goes from there. Well, that wraps up our mini lesson. Hopefully you can walk out with some of these big points in mind, or even take this progressive spirit a step forward by finding something in your town that needs a little reforming. Thanks for watching and have a good one.